So let's do the chanting straight away. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Tudayambi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tudayambi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tudayambi Sangham saranam gacchami, Tadayambi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tadayambi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatayambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from the happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this. Great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, I vow to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I vow to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I vow to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasungati Buddhi Soha. Tayata Gati Gati Paragati Parasungati Buddhi Soha. Tayata Gati Gati Paragati Parasungati Buddhi Soha. So now time for a spot of meditation. Get yourself comfortable and not too comfortable where you fall asleep, but comfortable enough where you remain alert but are relaxed. So bring your mind inside your body and let's release whatever tension we can, starting from the bottom of the body, the tips of your toes, all around your feet and your lower legs, around your knees and upper legs, around your midsection, up your stomach and sides and back, to the chest, underneath your arms, to the upper back. From the neck to the shoulders, down to the tips of your fingers. Then back to the neck, the back of the head and the sides of the head, and all around your face. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw or frowning. And finally, the crown of your head. And now very briefly scan your body just as we did then, and if there is still some tension there, release it. And now we bring our focus to the tip of the nose initially and follow the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose, past your throat, past the bronchial area, all the way into your lungs. As your lungs fill with the air, they expand. The stomach or the abdomen rises a little. Then you breathe out, the stomach drops a little. You may notice that the air is warmer as you breathe out than it was when you breathed in. Just past your throat on the way out your nose. You can also add the extra technique of counting the breaths. One in breath and one out breath is 1, and so on, up to 10. And if you get distracted on the way towards 10, go back to 1 at that time. This is just extra technique to help you focus on the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. The most essential physical thing that we do. Developing this concentration by focusing on the breath is one of the most essential things for us to do in this precious human life. Focusing the mind so the mind becomes bright, aware, non-attached, etc. Eventually wise, compassionate. So developing this concentration is not enough to realize supreme enlightenment. We must develop the compassion, the bodhicitta, realize the supreme wisdom as well, so on. But it is essential along the path to supreme enlightenment. So breathing in and breathing out, if thoughts arise or any mental activity arises, don't cling to it. Don't grasp at it. Don't try to force it away or deny it, but let it go simply, naturally, as you replace your mind back onto the breath. And if you start to become dull or sleepy mentally, then refocus on the breath more brightly. So let's practice like this in silence for a short while. We can feel pleased with ourselves now for engaging in the practice and continuing to engage in this practice as we switch techniques to the metta bhavana, or loving kindness meditation. So fill yourself with universal loving kindness, utilizing the visualization technique of filling your whole being with the white light, which represents the universal loving kindness. Fill yourself with so much loving kindness that it now overflows and radiates outwards from your heart center to your loved ones initially, family and friends in front of you, entering into their heart centers and filling their whole being with the universal loving kindness too. Have the aspiration and the wish that they are happy, free from suffering, and are peaceful. And now also include those you may regard as strangers, whether you know them a little or not at all, and do likewise. And even those that are regarded as enemies, those people or groups of people that you find it very difficult, maybe they're behaving so bad. Have the wish that they are happy as well, engaging in the causes of happiness, so good qualities, and that they are free from suffering, in other words, avoiding acting on negative qualities, faults, and that they are peaceful, so not causing conflict anymore. And also all sentient beings now, not just the human beings around our immediate area initially, all the beings that live on the lands, under the land, fly through the air, live in the waters, whether they're born from wombs, eggs, moisture, or through transformation. As it says in the Metta Sutta, all sentient beings, whether weak or strong, great or small, short or tall, seen or unseen, near or distant, born or to be born, may they all be happy. Let no one despise or deceive another being in any state. Let none by anger or hatred wish harm upon another. So let's share our loving kindness throughout the infinite space eventually. Now throughout your whole state or county, and all of the states and counties throughout your whole country, and all of the countries throughout the world. Of course, we can't bring in every single one to mind right now, unless you're really good at that stuff, remembering things from a geography point of view. I'm sure there's many countries we're not aware of or we don't think about. Some we like, some maybe we don't like. Now we're sharing this loving kindness through all of the countries and through all of the oceans, down to the core of the earth and to the outermost atmosphere. Have your loving kindness pervade throughout this whole solar system and galaxy and the universe and beyond. Loving kindness radiating throughout infinite space. And also be present here and now to recite the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious bodhicitta, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of shunyata, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. Okay, so we are continuing our commentary on the heart advice, or Master Atisha Dipankara's heart advice, which is in 47 lines, you could say, or verses even, and giving some commentary on each one. Some of them will have a lot of commentary, detailed, and some other ones quite simple. So last week we went through 3 of them. But prior to doing that today, what I wanted to do, I thought of this as I was giving some meditation instruction then, is just a few stories on the meditation. Some sort of funny little stories, but also very poignant and very deep teachings the further you go into it. So the first one is, I'm pretty sure it was Master Hokkien, Japanese master. He was visited by a Buddhist scholar. And of course, I'm going to embellish this, but keep the meaning, okay? Otherwise, it'd take too long. So he was visited by this Buddhist scholar who remembered so many of the Buddhist teachings, the sutras and commentaries, the shastras, but didn't practice meditation, hadn't really absorbed his mind with this understanding that you can gain through hearing the Dharma or studying the Dharma and then contemplating. Maybe he had contemplated, but he hadn't absorbed his mind yet. So he came to the master. He said, "Master, I'd like you to teach me about meditation." And the master asked him if he would like a cup of tea. He said, "Yes, please." So I don't know if you know anything about the Japanese tea ceremony. It's sort of adopted by and influenced by as well the Zen tradition, Buddhist tradition, and mindfulness practice, awareness practice, conscientiousness. Everything's done very meticulously, slowly, with mindfulness, awareness. Anyway, doing this, brewing the tea perfectly, then pouring the tea into the scholar's cup. He kept pouring, and the tea went all over the table, out of the cup onto the floor, and the scholar probably thought the master was crazy and said, "Master, this is enough. It's tipping everywhere." And the master said, "This is just like your mind, full of ideas, full of self-opinions, full of everything. You must first empty your cup before I can teach you meditation. You must empty your cup." I'll add to this now, to taste the tea, the Dharma tea, and really absorb your mind with it. And then master can fill it again. Then you must empty the cup again. Must let go of our opinions, everything we learned, even if it's correct. And then we can calm the mind, clear the mind, clean the mind, and then absorb the mind with true understanding, with real wisdom and compassion and so on. Okay, so empty your cup so it can be filled with truth. And I think that will do actually, because it took a few minutes. So maybe I'll do that as well if I remember, that is. Maybe I know many stories like this, and maybe I haven't shared them with you yet. Some of them I have, including that one. So I think maybe if I remember, I may share one a week or whenever I think about it. Okay. So Master Atisha's teachings, if you remember correctly, I last week read the whole text to you and then gave some commentary on the first 3. So the first 3, without any additional commentary: until you attain enlightenment, the spiritual teacher is indispensable. Therefore, rely upon the holy spiritual guide. Until you realize ultimate truth, listening is indispensable. Therefore, listen to the instructions of the spiritual guide. Since you cannot become a Buddha merely by understanding Dharma, practice earnestly with understanding. So that's a little bit why I mentioned that teaching today, to do with especially number 3 there. Okay, so if you want to be, or you need to be reminded about the commentary on these 3 teachings or 3 verses, then look at last week's class. Go to the YouTube channel. It's probably the easiest way to access it, or just scroll on Facebook. That's fine. So today we're going to have a look at the next 3, and maybe even more, depends on the time. Avoid places that disturb your mind, and always remain where your virtues increase. Until you attain stable realizations, worldly amusements are harmful. Therefore, abide in a place where there are no such distractions. Avoid friends who cause you to increase delusions, and rely upon those who increase your virtue. This you should take to heart. So those are the three that we'll address today. Just remind you, even though, of course, I think about these types of teachings all the time, put them into practice all the time. I haven't done what I've done in previous times when I've given commentary on teachings like this, and that is prepare notes and things. So this is mainly, last week a little bit different, but mainly off the top of my head, okay? Just from the teachings I've received and my own contemplations and so on. So hopefully I get it right for you. And if you want more details on any of these verses or lines, then message me and let me know, and I can give more details. And in that case as well, maybe I'll even look up other teachers' commentaries, give a different view to it, okay? So this one, avoid places that disturb your mind and always remain where your virtues increase. I'll add a footnote here. If you are a very experienced practitioner already, and you at the stage where you need to challenge yourself, then actually you should go to places that disturb your mind and test yourself and learn to give up these disturbances, let go of these things. Normally, these disturbances come from some sort of mental agitation, not from the place, from your fears, from your hopes, things like this, okay? So the first bit, avoid places that disturb your mind. Let go of that footnote that I just added. Think about it. Anywhere that you go that disturbs your mind. I'm not talking about places you don't like because you have attachment to different types of places or you have an aversion to certain places, but anywhere that disturbs your mind. You could be in a beautiful place that you have such strong attachment to. This is disturbing your mind. So it's not just what you would perceive as the negative or what we would perceive as the negative. It's wherever attachment arises and aversion arises. If we have strong attachment to a certain place or circumstance, surrounds, or if we have strong aversion to a so-called place, circumstance, etc., okay? Then this is disturbing our mind. This is, so avoid places that disturb the mind. Wherever that may be, we're all different, you know. I think pretty much you could say that don't go to a nightclub. What's the point? Unless, like I said, you are a really, really advanced practitioner and you're going there to help living beings, you know, living beings that have very disturbed mind, then you're going to help them, finding like treasures on the path, you know, increase your patience, increase your compassion. But actually, generally, some place that's really, really noisy, especially with the irritating sounds, what we call for many years now, doof music or heavy metal music or really aggressive music, or even nice music that's repetitive because it can disturb your mind. Myself, as you could say these days, a musician from the past or a singer from the past, or a past singer, still these days, if I hear something that maybe I knew from years ago, or it's quite repetitive, it's attractive music maybe, and it plays on my mind, and I've actually got to make an effort to let it go. My mum sometimes plays nice music. Instead of watching a film or TV, she may play some music for herself. And on occasions, these are different songs that I may have known from the past. What I find is that those songs play around and around in my head until I am aware of it, which is quickly. Maybe I'm washing the dishes or whatever, and she's playing these songs, and I think, oh, okay, there's that song again. That's gonna mess with my mind for a little while. So basically, anything that disturbs the mind, through attachment, or because of attachment, because of aversion, any place. Maybe it's a crowd in crowds. Maybe it's for whatever reason. Maybe you're not used to being by yourself out in the forest or something like that, or on the beach. Maybe that disturbs your mind. So look for places that do not disturb the mind, or at very least don't disturb the mind in a big way. Normally, we're true practitioners now, which we are. Normally, we would find a nice quiet place, a place that has peace. And even if it's not quiet, still peaceful. If you are playing music, peaceful. If you are watching TV or something like that, peaceful, or learning. We can learn from certain habits or certain, that's the wrong word, but like the actors playing certain parts, and what makes these beings, the parts they're playing, maybe they're bad. What makes them like that? Think about it, the psychology behind it. We can learn. Okay, so I'm just giving you some examples here saying, well, if you are in a situation where you have a lot of disturbances, utilize them to calm the mind if you can't avoid them. Otherwise, avoid them. Why not? You deserve to be peaceful, You need to cause the peace by letting go of disturbances and disturbing places. Okay, so always remain where your virtues increase. So the places where you remain, where you can develop true compassion, develop true wisdom, step by step, generosity, all the other far-reaching attitudes, not where you are continually being disturbed, where you are continually reinforcing negative habits. Go to places and be in places, abide in places where you can increase your virtues. It's possible. You can do that. You already have these virtues. You just need to increase them, maybe make them more firm, more consistent, and superseding the negative qualities that we all still have because we're not enlightened yet. Okay. So just that's enough commentary for that one. Avoid places that disturb your mind and always remain where your virtues increase. The next one. Until you attain stable realizations, worldly amusements are harmful. Therefore, abide in a place where there are no such distractions. So think about this. Realizations means like the word in English that we can use, epiphany, even though that's used in different ways as well. Metaphorically, you can say the bells go off in your head, and all of a sudden the light switch comes on in your mind, where you just have some realization of something truthful, where you have what in the Zen tradition maybe you can call awakening moments or enlightenment moments, where you wake up more. Things become very clear to you. Okay, so unless we're having these experiences and our mind is becoming more bright, we're becoming more wise, compassionate, not always affected by things around us, very little attachment, aversion, practicing well. Until we get to that stage, then things like worldly amusements are harmful. So all of the worldly things that we may engage in, maybe, like I said before, using an extreme example, going out to a pub or a nightclub or something like that, where it's really busy, lots of irritating people, even though it's your own mind that gets irritated, then avoid these things because they can be harmful for the practice. They can be harmful because from a physical point of view and a mental point of view, because these circumstances, these places, these things, these worldly amusements, you could say, disturb the mind, you create the negative karma, which in turn produces negative effects eventually. So you're causing your own suffering by doing this. So avoid that, as well as harmful on the Dharma path, because it's blocking our way on the Dharma path, to use a metaphor. Okay. It's like it's blocking the river as we're going along the river on the way to enlightenment. It's blocking it, all of these worldly amusements. And we can mention here renunciation. We already spoke about the four preliminary contemplations in detail a little less than a year ago now. The precious human life, the impermanence, the law of karma, and also the unsatisfactory nature of cyclic existence. So we already spoke about that, to develop true renunciation, to turn our mind directly to the Dharma and, away from all of these worldly amusements and distractions and so on. Contemplate these four often, okay? And then obviously develop the bodhicitta, great compassion, working our way to supreme wisdom, and then unifying them to develop and realize the ultimate bodhicitta. So until you attain stable realizations, worldly amusements are harmful. Therefore, abide in a place where there are no such distractions. So do whatever we can, really, wherever we're at, to avoid these types of distractions. There are extra stuff, okay? Remember, all we really need is the requisites, and then some extra things as well related to our work and our hobbies and things that we do enjoy. You can enjoy everything. Just don't attach to it. Don't expect it to be the way you think it is, the way you want it to be. It may change, okay? So put yourself in a position where you can concentrate, you can be peaceful, you can be calm and not worried all the time and agitated, always thinking of the past and the future and so on. I think that one will do. Until you attain stable realizations, worldly amusements are harmful, and therefore abide in a place where there are no such distractions. Of course, I will add a footnote again. Of course, this is not possible 100% for us right now, is it? It's not possible for us to be able to not have some distractions like this, okay? So also avoid friends who cause you to increase delusions, and rely upon those who increase your virtue. This you should take to heart. So first of all, I addressed that last line. What the Master Atisha is saying here is you really should pay attention to doing this. This is quite simple for us to do in a way. Sometimes difficult to avoid those that may cause you to be unwholesome. Maybe it's your friends, family, even like this. But we can distance ourselves without even letting people know. Practice the Dharma, and surround yourself with those beings that help you to develop the virtue more and more. So avoid friends who cause you to increase delusions. These so-called friends, maybe they tried to get you to do negative things from a physical point of view, things that disturb your mind. Maybe there's a thing called peer group pressure, where you think, oh, I must do like that because everybody's doing like that. I've said before many times, that, and masters over the years have said this, and that is sometimes we need to go against the wind, against the norm. The winds of what is normal for people to do quite often is distraction and negative things that disturb your mind. We need to go against that, okay? And don't get sucked into just following what the herd is doing. So easy to get caught up like that. Go against that. Doesn't mean you need to fight against people or this or that or the other, okay? You just need to be disciplined with your own practice, disciplined mind, okay? And then, of course, we have rely upon those who increase your virtue. Why not? Spend some time online right now, for instance, or in person if you like, spend some time surrounding yourself with virtuous people that help you to become more virtuous, that are a good influence on you, and encourage you as well, even if it's verbally, encourage you to increase your virtues, encourage you not to fall back into old habits that are non-virtuous. There's many people like this, so do that, okay? Even if you're by yourself, surround yourself with the teachings of the Buddha, other masters. Look at videos such as this one, such as other teachers, okay? And you should take to heart. Okay, so very for sure, all right? You need to do that. So we did just do 3 today. We've only got like a minute or so to go. So I leave it there. I think these teachings are very good. Now, a lot of the subjects we've covered before. This prompts me a little bit to give maybe some different examples as well, coming from Master Atisha in this case, his teachings. And I am rejoicing in doing that. And hopefully you are enjoying that too. Okay, so maybe about 40 seconds to go. I encourage you to hear the Dharma, study the Dharma, best of your ability, with mindfulness, awareness, conscientiousness. Then contemplate on the Dharma, doing likewise. And then absorb your mind with the Dharma, doing likewise. I rejoice in your goodness, meritorious goodness always, and from your goodness from the past, in the present, and what you will increase, the virtue you will increase into the future as you practice Dharma more, understand more,